From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And good morning to you. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Megan Shin. It's 5 o'clock here on your Thursday morning.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez, and these are your headlines on this January the 21st. President Joe Biden hit the ground running on his first day in office, issuing a slew of executive orders. We're breaking down what they are and how they impact you moving forward. Megan?
Plus, one of President Biden's first pieces of legislation involves immigration. This morning, the impact the action is having on Hoosier families.
And the pandemic is still taking a toll on many people's personal finances. Working for you, the expert advice on how you can start turning things around in this new year.
Thank you for starting your day with Good Morning Indiana. And Todd Clausen, based on what your coworkers are wearing this morning, you can see all of this yellow. We are helping you cheer on the sun this morning, even though it's 5:02 in the morning. Please put on your sunglasses, adjust your screen. Look at all the sunshine.
Obviously, I did not get the memo on the yellow here, but I am bringing the sunshine here throughout the day today. That is the good news. Actually, it's going to be a nice bright day for us from start to finish today, so definitely make sure you do grab those sunglasses. As far as the temperatures, not bad this morning. We are sitting in the 30s with a mainly clear sky in all locations, north, south, and central. The wind, though, a bit of an issue, 7 to 13 miles per hour. Those are the sustained winds. That's not all that bad, but there are some wind gusts right now up to about 25 miles per hour across parts of the area, and we'll continue to have wind gusts up in that range here throughout most of the day today. Just a little bit in the way of high thin cloud cover sinking in from north to south. Really not a player for us in the forecast for the day today, and it's nice and quiet off to our west. This storm system scooted to our south, so we don't have to worry about that. Going forward throughout the day today, mostly sunny skies from start to finish. A nice warm up heading our way as we quickly warm to the 30s this morning, up into the mid 40s here this afternoon. So we're above normal. Wouldn't be surprised if some locations to the south today get up close to 50 degrees or maybe even touch the 50-degree mark. And then this evening still pretty comfortable as we fall back down into the 30s. Tomorrow, though, unfortunately much colder. Lauren, more on that coming up in Maine weather in just a couple minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks. Let's travel up to Fishers right now. Give you a live look here at I-69 from 106th Street. Traffic on the interstate is quiet, as you can see. No crashes or delays to slow down your Thursday commute.
Some of the executive actions I'm going to be signing today are going to help change the course of the COVID crisis. We're going to combat climate change in a way that we haven't done so far, and advance racial equity and support other underserved communities. We're going to rebuild our economy as well. And these are just all starting points.
The pomp and circumstance is over, and now it's time to get to work. President Joe Biden has taken his place in the Oval Office, and he's already addressing several key issues, Rafael.
And so, Megan, on his first day in office, the new president signed 15 executive orders and 2 agency actions. Here's a breakdown on all the things that he signed yesterday there in the Oval Office. President Biden launched a 100-day masking challenge. He's asking you and all Americans to wear a mask for the next 100 days and is now requiring masks to be worn on all federal properties. He's also urging states and local governments to do the same. He's extending the existing nationwide moratorium on evictions and foreclosures. Those now will last until at least March the 31st. He's also extended the existing pause on student loan payments and interest at least until September the 30th. Actions are also taken to improve diversity and address climate change. Lauren?
And President Biden also took action on immigration policies. He announced some plans to preserve DACA and provide a pathway to citizenship for dreamers. WRTV's on Troy Washington joins us now with the impact this is having on some Hoosier families. Troy, good morning.
Good morning. That policy could mark the dawn of a new day for families looking for a pathway to citizenship, especially easing some of those worries of being deported. Recently, we talked to a family who was sitting on pins and needles, wondering what's next for them.
If he does, give some kind of path to citizenship or permanent or work authorization to begin with, or even licenses, like all of these smaller things that seem very little are going to make a large impact.
The family is just very hopeful that this is the first step towards major changes. And just to give you a little background on how this policy would work, it would offer an 8-year path to citizenship for those who have been in the U.S. since January of 2021. Reporting live downtown, I'm Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you so much. This could be a good sign. For the third day in a row, we have seen the amount of new COVID-19 cases fall below 3,000 cases. Here's a look at where we stand this morning. State health officials report 2,942 new cases of the virus. This month, 77,888 Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19. Health officials also report 62 new Hoosier deaths, meaning so far this month, just under 1,000 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. As we continue to fight the virus, more and more Hoosiers are getting vaccinated. So far, more than 338,000 Hoosiers have been given the first dose of their vaccine, and more than 79,000 Hoosiers are fully vaccinated against the virus. As a reminder, if you are 70 or older, if you're a healthcare professional or a first responder, you can sign up to receive your vaccine. All you need to do is visit the website known as ourshot.in.gov or call 211 for help. We have that information and much more right now on the WRTV app. Across the country, more than 16.5 million coronavirus vaccine doses have been administered so far. So that's really the big picture. That's about 46% of the 36 million doses that have been distributed. Nearly 2.1 million people have received both of the required doses, and at least 14 million people have received at least the first dose. President Biden has named a COVID response coordinator who will now oversee the distribution of vaccines and medical supplies to help speed up all vaccination efforts. Megan?
Raphael, the pandemic continues to take a financial toll on many Hoosier families. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us now with advice from financial experts on how you can get back on track. Kelsey, good morning.
For many of us, the pandemic had us digging deep into our pockets and into our piggy banks. But experts say you can make changes right now to get back on track in 2021. Well, whether you were laid off, furloughed, or even if you continued working at the height of the pandemic, we all learned the importance of having a savings built up for situations like this. Financial professional Logan Benham of Benham Advisory Group says the first thing you need to do to save is track your expenses. He says there's no way to save if you don't know where your money is going.
But once you've understood and identified those places of unnecessary spending, then we can go in and consider contributing to our savings accounts or our retirement plans if you can. But remember that savings is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So it's important that you set goals for yourself and make sure that those goals are realistic to you and in your situation.
Benham says those goals need to be realistic and attainable because it's going to be hard for you to achieve those goals if you feel overwhelmed when you look at your savings goals. And remember, saving money is a marathon, not a sprint, even if all it is right now is putting spare change in your piggy bank. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. It is 5:09, and for the fourth time in 4 seasons, the Colts are in need of a new starting quarterback. After 17 years in the NFL, veteran QB Phillip Rivers announced his retirement. His decision comes less than 2 weeks after the Colts suffered a 27-24 loss at Buffalo in that wild card round of the playoffs. The 39-year-old spent 16 years with the Chargers before signing a 1-year contract with the Colts last year. As for what's next, here's what Rivers had to say.
Whatever God's will is for me and my family, if it's here in Indy playing of the year, then we'll be here. And if it's not, I'll be on a sideline somewhere. I know where. I'll be on the sideline with the Ballcat, coaching the heck out of a high school football team down in South Alabama.
So last year, Rivers said that he plans to take over as the coach at St. Michael Catholic High School near Mobile, Alabama. Of course, here in Indianapolis and around central Indiana, Todd, we are wishing him the very best.
Yeah, I nominate Rafael Sanchez to be the quarterback next year.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if we can get the ball over the offensive line. So, all right, outside right now, we have temperatures that are in the 30s, pretty comfortable across the area. Going up to 45 later on this afternoon. So it's a relatively mild day for January standards, considering Our normal high is now 36 degrees, so we're about 10 degrees above normal. Clear skies this morning, plenty of sunshine throughout the day. The issue today is going to be the wind. We have wind gusts right now that are up in that 20 to 25 mile per hour range, and that's where we stay really throughout the entire day as we push into the noon hour and even into the afternoon. So the wind speeds that you have this morning are basically what you get later on this afternoon as well. They're not really going to decrease here throughout the day today. They do start to decrease as we work our way into tomorrow morning. The problem is tomorrow, you notice the arrow, it's coming out of the northwest. That's a colder wind direction, and that is going to really drop our temperatures as we head into the day on Friday. We'll talk more about that and the weekend coming up in Maine weather in just a couple minutes.
Todd, thank you so much. The U.S. Army National Guard investigating a deadly helicopter crash. Straight ahead on Good Morning Indiana, what we know about the accident at this hour. Megan?
And if you prefer to skip the video part of video chats, we have some good news. Up next, how keeping those cameras off could help the environment. That's right after the break.
The car you want, the way you want.
Welcome back. The time right now is 5:14. Investigators out in New York are trying to figure out the cause of this deadly military helicopter crash. It all happened last night in Mendon, which is about 20 miles south of Rochester, New York. 3 soldiers were killed when the medical evacuation helicopter crashed. New York's Division of Military and Naval Affairs says that the crew is on a routine training mission. The soldiers have not yet been identified.
This morning, we are looking ahead, and former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg is set to have his confirmation hearing today. President Joe Biden nominated the 39-year-old to be the transportation secretary for the country. He will be introduced at the hearing by Indiana Republican Senator Todd Young. If confirmed, Buttigieg will become the youngest and the first Senate-confirmed LGBTQ cabinet secretary in the country. Now, Buttigieg should not have any problem being confirmed now that the Democrats control the U.S. Senate. After her inauguration yesterday, Vice President Kamala Harris swore in 3 new Democratic senators. John Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock won the runoff elections, as you may recall, in Georgia. And former California Secretary of State Alex Padilla has been appointed to Harris's former seat. The swearing-in made history in so many ways. Warnock and Ossoff are the first Black and Jewish senators to represent the state of Georgia, while Padilla is California's first Latino senator. In another groundbreaker, Democrat Chuck Schumer became the chamber's first Jewish majority leader.
Raphael, former Vice President Mike Pence is back in his hometown, and he says he plans to move back to the Hoosier State full-time later this year. Pence visited his hometown of Columbus immediately after attending the inauguration. He spoke briefly to a small crowd, thanking his friends, family, and supporters.
Every opportunity we have ever had, we owe to the grace of God, our family, and to the people of Indiana. So first and foremost, as we come home, thank you for giving us the privilege of serving the United States of America as Vice President.
And Pence did not say anything about his political future. Time now is 5:16. Let's get a look outside with Todd Clausen. Hey, Todd.
All right, as we go here towards the tail end of the work week into the weekend, we have decent weather by January standards heading our way. In fact, today's a really nice day for us. It's a little windy at times, but it is the warmest day of the week because those winds are out of the southwest, and that's going to bring our temperatures up into the 40s. It does get colder, though, once again, as we work our way into the weekend. So our warm-up is just going to be fairly brief across the area. Outside right now, no visibility issues. The skies are mainly clear. Saw plenty of stars on my way into work here this morning. And there's just a little bit in the way of cloud cover, as I'll show you in northern locations. But look at these temperatures. Keeping in mind our normal high this time of year is now 36 degrees. And so we're just hovering right around that in many locations here to the south. Just below that in India, 33. 37 is the current temperature in Muncie. When you factor in that wind, it does feel a little bit cooler. feels like it's in the mid-20s right now from Bloomington over into the Muncie area. Temperatures today, they will be in the 30s here this morning, and then eventually as we get closer to the noon hour, the sun will be up obviously at that point, and we'll be pushing 40 degrees, and then highs eventually, as I'll show you as well, it's going to be in the mid-40s to maybe even near 50 degrees in some locations. Just a little bit in the way of cloud cover here to the north, storm system to our south, pushing off to the east now. That will not impact us here across the area, and here are those high temperatures for the day today. Even in northern locations, climbing up into the 40s, 42 in Logansport, as well as Marion, pair of 4s from Anderson over into the Muncie area. Frankfort at 43 degrees, 43 as well in Richmond and Newcastle. Shelbyville, though, getting close to 50 later on this afternoon. And then southern locations here, I do think there'll probably be a couple locations that do hit the 50-degree mark. Columbus, Seymour up to 51. It'll feel a little bit cooler than that when you factor in the wind, but nonetheless, hey, anytime you get close to 50 degrees in January, I consider that a win, most definitely. This evening, temperatures will still be in the mid-30s under a clear sky. But things will start to change overnight tonight as the winds flip from that southwesterly direction to more of a northwest wind. Look at the temperatures tomorrow. They are going to be struggling to warm. It's one of those days, once again, where we can't really do a whole lot with the temperatures, even with plenty of sunshine tomorrow. So we end the work week with temperatures only in the upper 20s. We head into the weekend on a chilly note Saturday, 32 degrees, but we do start to warm up on Sunday, which is good news because it's just in time for our next storm system to come in. It probably starts as a little bit of a rain snow mixture, probably goes over to that wintry mix still throughout the overnight hours into Monday morning as the temperature drops to right around 30 degrees. But by Monday afternoon, we're up to 40. That means anything will change over to plain old rain. The big question mark it will be for the Monday morning commute. There could be a little bit of a wintry mix making for slick conditions, something to keep an eye on over the next couple days. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's plan out your commute. This is a live look at I-70 and Harding Street, a little west of the downtown area. You can see traffic here is moving along up to speed, both eastbound and westbound. No crashes, no delays coming in from the west side to slow down your commute.
Lauren, thank you. A simple and inexpensive test can help alert you to an increased risk of developing colorectal cancer. Researchers gave the test to nearly 4,000 participants with low-risk symptoms of colorectal cancer. The test costs $6 and it detects traces of blood in stool samples. Blood was detected in 618 participants. 43 of those tests turned into a positive cancer diagnosis within a year. Researchers say the test gives more people access to screening that could lead to early detection. The American Cancer Society says colorectal cancer is the third leading cause of cancer deaths in America. Raphael?
So, Megan, more of us are now Zooming and FaceTiming, of course, because we're working from home. But if you're a fan of leaving your camera off during a video chat, here's another reason to do so. Researchers say it can actually help the environment. How's that? Well, scientists from Purdue, MIT, and Yale found that using video chats increases a person's carbon footprint. Didn't know that. That means an hour of streaming can produce 150 to 1,000 grams of carbon dioxide and require up to 12 liters of water. So by turning off your video chat, you can reduce your footprint by 96%. Streaming in standard definition rather than high definition reduces the carbon footprint by 86%. Keep that in mind the next time you power up, Lauren.
Who knew? Well, it is 5:21 and our Hiring Hoosiers initiative connects you to career opportunities. One way we bring you those is through open job positions in our job feed. So the Restauracy of Whitestown needs a full-time cook. You would be in-home cook for 12 residents. You'll provide them with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Health and dental and vision benefits are available for employees. Emma Sedko in Indianapolis is looking for a full-time or part-time production assembly worker. This is mostly hand assembly, which can be done in a sitting or standing position. You can learn more about all of these positions and many more by going to our job board. Just visit hiringhoosiers.com. Megan?
Lauren, thank you. A historic Indiana basketball team honored with the release of a new show. Coming up, details on the new partnership between Crispus Attucks and Converse.
Ahead at 5:30, Kroger cutting ties with an Indiana organization. Details on why the grocery store chain says they funded the militia group unknowingly. That story and much more coming up on this Thursday, right here on WRTV.
RTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. A new sneaker pays tribute to a piece of Indianapolis history. These Christmas attic shoes you see right here are part of a new Converse collection called Breaking Down Barriers. They're inspired by and honor the 1954-1955 Crispus Attucks High School basketball team, of course led by young Oscar Robertson, a legend here in Indianapolis. They were the first all-black team to win a state basketball title in our state. Now, their success is even more remarkable because it wasn't until 1942 that they were granted membership to compete in the tournament. Indianapolis Public Schools says the shoes will be released nationwide in the spring. And of course, Todd, the big debate, if you're a Hoosier, is do you call them sneakers or tennis shoes? I know out east we would call them sneakers, right?
I call them sneakers, yeah. I don't know what a tennis shoe is there, Raphael. No, obviously.
It's a sneaker.
Obviously, I do, but we call them sneakers growing up. All right, outside right now. Lace up the sneakers. Get out there for a run. Temperature's not all that bad this morning, or a walk. You can't do it this morning. It'll be a little warmer this afternoon as we climb into the 40s. We're in the 30s right now. As we work our way throughout the day today, temperatures will be climbing through the 30s. Should be ready to 41 degrees by the noon hour with lots of sunshine. Should be a really nice afternoon for us with mostly sunny skies. It will be a little breezy. You'll have to contend with that, but hey, anytime you get 45 degrees in here during the month of January, I consider that in pretty good shape and stays pretty comfortable this evening as well. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you. Just ahead here on Good Morning Indiana, a new round of PPP loans now available. We've got everything you need to know to get help. It's all coming up in the 6 o'clock hour of Good Morning Indiana. Stay with us.
Fortune tonight on ABC.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 5:30, today is President Biden's first full day in office, and he is already making changes. His first executive actions and how they will impact Hoosiers.
And the pandemic has everyone really paying more attention to their bank accounts. Working for you, some tips to help you save money and prepare for the future.
And here at 5:31, I want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday. I'm Lauren Casey, joined by Megan Shin and Rafael Sanchez, and of course, meteorologist Todd Clausen, who's breaking down our forecast for this Thursday. Todd, what's going on out there?
You know, it's pretty quiet out there right now. There's a little bit of a wind that's gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. That's a little bit of an inconvenience, but it's not strong enough to cause any damage across central Indiana. And look at these temperatures. They're in the 30s at this 5:30 hour because the wind is out of the southwest. So that's keeping us a little bit warmer than where we should be during our overnight hours here in mid to late January. 36 in Bloomington, 33 in Indy. Wind chill values, though, are in the 20s, so you'll still need to bundle up a little bit, obviously, as you walk out the door and get your Thursday going. The good news is, though, it is dry. There's just a few fair weather clouds outside right now, and that is just about it. We avoided this rain and snow just down to our south, so that was good news. And as far as the day going forward, even better news. Clear skies this morning, plenty of sunshine this afternoon, and look at this. Your high temperature today, Lauren, going all the way up to 45 degrees.
All right, that sounds pretty good, Todd. Let's take a look right now at your commute for this Thursday as you're heading out the door early this morning. We're showing you from our tower camera the area near 16th and Capitol. We want you to be aware of this. This is from the Indianapolis Department of Public Works. They tell us that there's a single pole down in this intersection, and this requires some welding expertise to be able to clear this and fix this. So just know that there's stop signs and flashing red signals in this area. That's going to make this area an all-way stop until this is complete, and they're not going to do that until after the rush hour this morning. So this will impact your commute this morning as you're traveling on the near north side of town. We'll continue to keep you updated, but just take it slow, use caution, watch for other vehicles in that area.
This is a great nation. We're a good people. And to overcome the challenges in front of us requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy: unity.
As you can see, fireworks lighting up the sky in D.C., marking the end to the historic inauguration of the 46th president, Joe Biden, and Vice President Kamala Harris. The fanfare is now over, and President Biden getting to work, Megan, after taking his oath of office.
That's right, Raphael. He signed 17 executive actions following his inauguration ceremony covering COVID-19, climate change, and immigration. Our Troy Washington joins us now with how a local DACA recipient is reacting to the changes. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning. Well, to start, a lot of families are breathing a bit easier instead of being in constant fear of being deported. The family that we spoke with said that they're looking forward to taking that path towards citizenship, and they say that this possibility wouldn't be possible without the efforts of many.
People before me are the ones to thank for all this change, because it's not just one person, it's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who go out and protest to make a difference and to try to change policies to better and to give equity and equality for many, communities and minorities.
The family couldn't stress enough just how promising this possibility is for them. They say that all families really want is to be able to keep their families together. Reporting live downtown, I'm Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you. Kamala Harris's time as vice president is already making history. As she swore in, she became the first woman, the first black person of South Asian descent to hold that office. And now many Americans are celebrating having a vice president that looks like them. That includes the president of the Asian American Alliance, a Central Indiana organization. But RuPaul Talwala says that Harris's achievement means so much more than that.
My hashtag today is my VP looks like me. And I know that there are so many Shamlas like me who started the journey in this country with the hope that we are going to realize, American dream. And we have many Kamalas in our country, in our state, who have big dreams. And I know that this event is not only going to give them the hope that one day they can realize it, but I'm sure they will do it.
Well, we also spoke with Girls Incorporated of Greater Indianapolis about what this moment means to them. For 50 years, the organization has encouraged young women in leadership. Taylor Connor, a Girls Inc. participant and Heron High School senior, says that Wednesday was monumental for her.
Personally, hearing all those things, it makes me happy that someone is breaking down these negative stereotypes and biases that come with the territory of being of color, of being a woman, of being an immigrant, who happens to also be very, very qualified for this position.
The Girls Inc. president says Wednesday served as a day to remember all of the women who blazed a trail before the new VP. Raphael.
Lauren, the Statehouse complex in downtown Indianapolis is set to reopen this morning. As you recall, it was closed on Monday for the Dr. King holiday and remained closed through Inauguration Day due to possible protests. The governor's office said the decision was made out of an abundance of caution. State legislative leaders also canceled meetings for the whole week. The FBI says that there have been no specific credible threats to government buildings in our state. Megan?
Raphael, Kroger is cutting ties with an Indiana organization that allegedly participated in the U.S. Capitol riots. The grocery store chain says it removed the Indiana Oath Keepers from their community rewards program. Thousands of IRS-approved nonprofits participate in the customer-dedicated initiative, and Kroger says that was a dismay to learn that the Indiana Oath Keepers were part of the program, and they are now reviewing the list of organizations to determine if any additional groups should be removed. Lauren.
The time right now is 5:37. Let's get to the latest on the spread of COVID-19 here in our state. So here are the latest numbers. The state health department is reporting nearly 3,000 new cases of the virus. That brings the total case number to more than 598,000 since the start of the pandemic. 62 more Hoosiers have also died from the virus. 9,154 deaths have been reported since the pandemic began. 987 of those were reported in January alone. Now, take a look at this. We are seeing a positive of change in this week's county map. You can see it right there on your screen. Only 33 counties are now in the red. That's down from 73 that were in the red last week. Many central Indiana counties, including Marion, Hancock, and Hamilton, were among those upgraded to the orange category. Johnson and Hendricks counties remain in the highest risk status. We'll learn more about Indiana's COVID-19 progress and Governor Holcomb's update that's coming up this afternoon. Megan.
Raphael, many of us were not sad to say goodbye to 2020. Nope. It was a year where people faced hardships. Oh, yeah, of all kinds, including financial hardships. We'll say bye, Felicia.
And that's right. Goodbye, Felicia, indeed. This morning, WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us with how experts say that you can make 2021 better financially for you and your family. Kelsey?
For many people, when they're thinking about retiring, they have that date in mind and circled on their calendar. But with the struggles that 2020 brought, is retiring still a good idea? Financial professional Logan Benham of Benham Advisory Group says retiring is still an option if you've been planning for it and stuck to your financial plans. But if you haven't done that, Benham says now might not be the right time. He says if you are going to retire, something to consider is market uncertainty.
A good financial plan incorporates market uncertainty like we've seen during this COVID pandemic. And for example, if we were to only withdraw a fraction of our retirement accounts, then we might give the market some time to possibly recover in the future.
For any worker who isn't ready to retire yet and is suffering financially because of the pandemic, there are a number of things you can do, and it might be a good time to organize those finances and figure out how much you will need when it's time to retire. Now, the best way to do that, Benjamin says, is to write down your monthly expenses. That way you can see where your money is going and where you might be spending too much. That way you can put that excess money into your retirement fund. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
All right there, Kelsey, great tips as you get going here on this Thursday morning. I'm going to start you off with the big number, 36 degrees, which is the average high for this time of year. Why is that significant? I know it's chilly. It's the middle of January. We should be in the 30s. Well, yesterday, the average high was 35 degrees. So we finally started our upward trajectory as far as your high temperatures go. We'll continue to see our average high start to climb now through the remainder of this month, through February until the middle of summer, when our average high climbs all the way up into the 80s. So we're heading in the right direction. Finally, unfortunately, we don't always hit that average high right this time of year. 31 as you walk out the door and head off to work this morning. As you come home, though, should be a pretty nice day for us with lots of sunshine, temperatures in the mid 40s. The only thing you really have to watch out for here today is going to be the wind. It could gust up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour at times.
All right. Thank you, Todd. Well, this morning, controversy about where money raised through Indiana's military license plates should go. Coming up, why many aren't happy with Indiana's Department of Veteran Affairs.
And Johnson & Johnson's COVID vaccine could be ready soon. Still ahead, how their technology and distribution is different from the vaccines that are already out. The time right now is 5:41 on your Thursday. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Jams.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:44. Indiana's Department of Veterans Affairs is looking to keep a chunk of the revenue that's generated from military license plate sales. Raphael.
And that's right, Lauren. And that proposal is not sitting well with some members of Hoosier Veterans. Hoosier Veterans can turn to the Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs and its Military Family Relief Fund for help getting food, housing, utilities, medical services, and transportation. Money is generated from veteran license plates like Army, Navy, Marines, and Support Our Troops. House Bill 1264 would allow the Department of Veteran Affairs to use up to 15% of the Military Family Relief Fund to pay for administrative costs associated with the operation of that fund. We spoke with two veterans against the proposal.
We see those as donations because Hoosiers pay a higher cost for those specialty license plates to support our troops, to show pride in their service, all knowing that that extra money goes into our Military Family Relief Fund to help veterans in need.
It was never meant to be like a slush fund for the state of Indiana or for the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs to use money from it for anything other than grants to veterans and their families.
The Military Veterans Coalition of Indiana wrote a letter to the governor saying in part that taking 15% away from them equates to over $270,000 that would not be available to assist over 110 Hoosier veterans. We have yet to receive a response from the department's director, Dennis Weimer. Megan?
Raphael, former U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams says he was asked to step down by President Joe Biden. The former Indiana State Health Commissioner tweeted yesterday. He said it has been, quote, the honor of my life to serve this nation. Last month, Biden announced he would nominate Dr. Vivek Murthy to be the next Surgeon General. It's a job Murthy previously held in the Obama administration. Until Murthy is confirmed by the Senate, Biden will name someone to fill the role as on an interim basis.
And Dr. Anthony Fauci says the Johnson & Johnson vaccine could be ready for approval within weeks. It would be the third COVID-19 vaccine to be distributed here in the United States. However, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine uses different technology than what we know Moderna and Pfizer use. It's called a viral vector vaccine. So what does that mean? Scientists take a genetic code from the coronavirus spike protein and they insert it into a harmless virus that acts as a transport vehicle. The spike proteins familiarize your immune system and generate antibodies so that the body is ready to fight off the real coronavirus if you're infected with it. Now, because of this different approach, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is being tested as a one-dose shot, and it can be stored in regular fridge temperatures instead of those extreme cold temperatures like the other vaccines. Raphael?
Amazon wasted no time reaching out to the new Biden administration to get the coronavirus vaccine for its essential workers. In a letter to the president, Amazon says it stands ready to assist in getting 100 million Americans vaccinated in the first 100 days. But it wants its employees moved up to on the priority list of that vaccine. In October, Amazon said more than 19,000 of its frontline U.S. employees have tested positive or have been presumed positive for coronavirus. So far, there's been no response from the new administration about their request from Amazon. It is now time to check your forecast. Todd Clausen, I cannot wait to open the front door here at the Johnson County WRTV studios and hit the Franklin Greenway because I think you're going to tell me some good news on this Thursday.
Yeah, I will.
Yes.
It's going to be the warmest day of the week, Raphael, and we're going to have sunshine. So by all means, get out on the trail. I would, as I told Megan yesterday, she was asking about a run. I was like, go with the wind instead of against the wind. Otherwise, you're going to be running or pedaling a little bit harder. But nonetheless, anytime you're in the 40s to near 50 in January, you are doing quite well. Here's the wind. Take a look at that flag on top of the One America building, fully extended. That's going to be the case really throughout the entire day today. 33 degrees, that's the current temperature. Winds are sustained at 13 miles per hour, but they're gusting up into the 20s in many locations, and that's making it feel at least a little bit cooler. And you can see our wind gusts are generally going to be in that 20 to 25 mile per hour range throughout most of the day today. Eventually, as we get into the evening hours, they'll finally start to subside. The wind strength here, it's enough to be an inconvenience, say if you are running or you're biking across the area, but it's not enough to really cause much in the way of any damage across central Indiana as far as branches or trees coming down. So that's good news. Temperatures are in the 30s here this morning, 34 in Martinsville, 35 in Bedford. A little cooler to the north, a degree below freezing as you make your way into the Tipton area. Working our way throughout the day for you, hour by hour. You notice sunshine from start to finish. It's a nice bright day for us. 32 degrees at 9 a.m., 41 degrees by the noon hour with high temperatures today, topping off right around 45 degrees, putting us about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. Now, as far as rain goes, we're dry today as we just have a little bit in the way of cloud cover here to the north, but that's just about it. That rain and snowstorm to our south missed us, so that was good news for us this evening. If you have plans, temperatures will be in the 30s with a mainly clear sky, but the temperatures will slowly and steadily start to fall as we go throughout the evening, and then overnight you wake to temperatures that are going to be in the mid-20s. Obviously colder than what we have outside this morning, but that's pretty seasonable for this time of year. The problem is tomorrow we just don't warm throughout the day. We still have sunshine out there, but we're only going to top off right around 30 degrees during the day tomorrow. So it's a chilly day for us, and then it will keep the temperatures cool on Saturday, 30 degrees with partly sunny skies. Saturday's probably the better day of the weekend. Sunday's not bad, but we will start to see the chance of a wintry mix develop throughout the afternoon hours with temperatures in the upper 30s. The mix should go over to all rain as we work our way into the day on Monday, but it may take a little while for that to happen. Could potentially be a little bit of a wintry mix into the Monday morning commute, something to keep an eye on, but eventually up to 40 degrees by Monday afternoon. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a live look at your commute on this Thursday. Things are traveling smoothly here on I-70. This is a view just east of State Road 267. So for traveling in Hendricks County this morning, it should be smooth sailing on your interstates. We'll continue to keep a close eye on traffic around central Indiana, and we'll keep you updated. Megan.
Lauren, the monarch butterfly is getting closer towards extinction. Researchers say less than 2,000 of those butterflies were found on the coast of California. That's nearly a 100% drop since 1980. And the findings were based on data collected by volunteers at hundreds of sites in California and Mexico. Researchers say the breeding, overwintering, and pesticides are among the primary reasons the monarch butterfly population is dropping. Raphael.
So put on a heavy coat for this story. Glaciers left behind from the Earth's ice age helped us learn a lot about our planet's past. Now scientists are learning similar information from glaciers on the planet Mars. While Earth's glaciers have been melting over time, the ones on Mars have remained frozen. That's because the average temperature, get this, on Mars is 81 degrees below zero. So the next time Todd says it's cold, don't complain because it's 81 degrees below zero on Mars. Scientists say they only recently discovered the glaciers because they had been covered in debris. That's a lot of debris, but it's uber cold in Mars. I think I'll stay right here and 46202.
Yeah, we don't need that, Raphael. All right, to congratulate President Biden on his inauguration, he was given a special gift from the American people. The tradition behind the beautiful vases continues. We'll have that just after the break.
For extremely dry, cracked lips.
Welcome back. In honor of the inauguration, President Biden and Vice President Harris were given gifts from the American people, Raphael.
So, Megan, do you say vase or vase?
Vase, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to disagree with you here. As tradition, they were each presented a beautiful hand-engraved vase. A little bit different there. Yeah. The Lennox Corporation, which is the oldest maker of crystal in America, custom made those gifts. Biden's vase for Megan features the White House. Harris's vase for me includes the Capitol building. Lennox has been creating the inaugural gift since George H.W. Bush back in 1989.
Tomato.
Now time to check your forecast with our own tomato with Todd Clausen. Good morning, TK.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. As you walk out the door, get this day going. Temperature's not that bad. We're in the 30s here this morning anywhere you go. 32 in Logansport. Indy's at 33. And most importantly, radar is nice and quiet here all across the area. No threat of any precipitation in the forecast for you throughout the day today. In fact, today is the best weather day of not only this week, but probably next week as well. So take advantage of it. Mostly sunny skies. Still a little breezy. That's about the only flaw that we have in this forecast. But that high temperature up to 45 degrees, that is putting us about 10 degrees above where we should be temperature-wise for this time of year.
All right, Todd, thank you. So more help is on the way for small businesses. Coming up in the next half hour, how businesses can get another round of funds from the Paycheck Protection Program. It's 5:57. We'll see you at 6 o'clock.